Welcome everyone to episode 856. Happy Sunday, beaches. Happy Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Get your notifications coming in through the door. Say hi to Papa Swole. Say hi to Daddy. Say hi to Daddy.
Don't forget to say hi.
Make sure to come in, drop some comments, drop some biceps. Make sure you hit the share button, hit the commentario button. Spread the love. Papa Swole is going live. Spread the love. The love. Spread it. Spread the love. The love for the gains.
She wanna hit, and I create a hit. Gone on the mothership. Spacey and I get dabs. Yabba dabba do bad. Eric if I do bad. Later when I needed that. Helping assistance. Lit on persistence.
Michigan Renaissance, the Ren Fair. Oh, you're one of those. All right, let's tune in. Tune into the show, everyone. Come hither, come hither. Yeah. Come on in. Shall we dance? Shall we dance?
Shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Test, test, test. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Test, test, test. Testing, testicles, testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 856 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, slaycast. Papa Swole is going to get yoked like ain't no joke today cast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex. Our biceps, our biceptuals, our triceptuals going down today. Probably going to be slamming some slabs today. Today is a back day for Daddy. Welcome everyone watching live on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitch, Periscope, YouTube. What's going down? IG Live. Everyone's coming in, getting their notifications. Hello from Scotland. Love my bedtime swole nuggets. Oh, getting amped before going to sleep. Not necessarily a bedtime lullaby, I should say. Hi from Australia. 3:57 a.m. I added the fitty. Who the fuck needs sleep? Is Facebook blocking out swears and naughty words? I think you should be allowed to swear. It's not really freedom of speech if you're adding asterisks and covering up swears. Is it now? You'd think we'd be over that. You think we'd be over that already as a society, worrying about swearing. It's getting better. It's getting better, but man, people still really get butthurt over words. Like swear words, it's so descriptive. It explains what's going on. You have to swear. Use the full breadth of the language. I'm not a fan of people that aren't a fan of swearing. I don't think not swearing is any sign of being more cultured. I think that's why people avoid swearing or still think it's lower class or something like that. No, I think it actually just gives all the balls to the words. It puts those words in bold. Puts them in all caps, motherfucker. What's crack-a-lackin'? The huge. Today it seemed like a really good time for it. It's a Sunday. It's actually nice. It's kind of like a dark gray, bluish outside, thunderstorming, and it has that kind of air, the air of kind of moist, damp kind of funk. And I know a lot of people are going to sit on their fat asses watching other people exercise today because stupid ass football season is back. Yay, we got to hear more about this crap all the time. So that being said, another season of people binging on Sundays because other people are living their dreams. That's essentially what this is. Essentially what this is. People using Sundays as an excuse now to eat garbage, to drink excessively, and try to get out that emotion that's pent up, that fucking rage that's built up psychologically and physically that doesn't get released anywhere else in their life. Just trying to funnel it into football. Pimpcast, Swolecast, Swearcast, did some chest and tries. Sunday Fun Day. Why no Olympia? No Olympia what? What about the Olympia? Am I not going? I don't know. Not interested. Don't care. Don't care about how much drugs people can pump into their body. Yoga today, baby. Nice. Yoga Sunday. Anyway. So today's the first day, right? Today's the first day of football season. I don't really care if you watch football. I just make fun of it. I think it's ridiculous. I would never waste my time and just sit there just staring at a TV watching a game. You know, I understand playoffs. I do understand. I do understand playoffs. I understand when things are on the line, but that's really when it matters to me. That's when it would matter to me. When you lose, you go home. I understand every game counts, and you have to have a good winning record. You have to be top of the, what was it, your standings and stuff in your division. So I know each. It's kind of like life. Every day matters. Everything matters, and everything builds up. But at the same time, like I sit there for 4 hours and watch commercials and all this crap in between. I could just get the number later on. I can ask Siri or Alexa, and they'll just tell me what the score was. I'll just sit there and use my time. But today just seemed like a good day. It's kind of like one of those recovery days, kind of damp outside. And I had this instance of waking up today that just kind of felt like shit. Shit in the sense where it just kind of felt flat, felt kind of bloated or just soft and stiff. So, sore from yesterday's workout. When it starts raining, the temperature or the pressure drops. So sometimes you just feel maybe more stiff. When it gets cold suddenly, when it's hot and humid all the time, and all of a sudden it just gets kind of cold and damp. After, from one day to the next, kind of wake up feeling a little bit blah. And I know a lot of you get that. And a lot of you are going to have that tomorrow morning. If you're watching football, if you're drinking, if you're doing whatever, you're hanging out, you're being a schlug. We'll call it a schlug. Tomorrow morning, Monday morning, early Monday morning, you're going to have this feeling. You're going to feel kind of like shit. You're not going to feel pumped. Not going to feel full. Not going to feel like, full in the sense of muscularly full. And these are interesting days. It depends on how you interpret that, right? You can go along with it. You can accept it and be like, I feel like crap today. I'm not going to work out. Or you just feel blah. So how do you respond to that? Understand it's a feeling. It's not necessarily a fact. It's how you're interpreting whatever it is in your body, whether it's the amount of sleep you got, whether it's the temperature, whether it's your hydration. Who knows? Who knows how you interpret it and how you're actually really feeling or interpreting what is actually going on in your body, what leads to that. I'm sure it's different for everyone because you might have a blah day when it's sunny outside. It has nothing to do with the weather. It just kind of reminded me, I kind of got this little memory of one day in college waking up and the temperature had shifted dramatically. The weather changed dramatically. And all of a sudden it was just cold and rainy and damp outside. And I didn't feel like going to the gym. It was one of those, it was a Saturday or Sunday, an F class. And it was one of those days where it's just perfect to lay in bed. It's perfect to lay in bed and not do anything. It's that kind of thing where you're cold, you're warm and you're snug and you don't have to go out in that windy, wet rain, damp, the kind of damp that you feel in your bones. It was up in Pennsylvania. So it's just a cold, wet, not winter, not cold enough for snow, but not warm enough for it to be decent and like a summer rain. It was just like a cold, winterish ice rain. Sucked. And I remember going anyway. I went anyway. I kept to my schedule. I forget what body part it was. I'm going to pretend like it's back. I'm going to pretend like it was a back workout because today I'm going to go do back so I can relate that to today. So I'm just going to use back, but I don't really remember exactly what I was working. But I remember going to the gym, and once I got there, it just made the whole rest of the day better. It made the whole rest of the day better. I don't remember details of the workout, whether it was an amazing workout or not, but just the fact that I went, that was the win. That was the accomplishment. That was the success. It wasn't whether or not I maxed out. It wasn't whether or not I got a sick pump. I don't remember that detail. I just remember the feeling before, and I remember the result. So I remember what I felt before I went, and then I just remember the fact that I did go. And that really obviously was the most important thing of that memory, because that's all I really remember. I would remember the actual workout if that was important, but obviously wasn't important. So I guess the moral of the story is, a lot of times on Instagram or here we'll talk about inspiration, motivation, keeping to a schedule, listening to your body. There's a lot of push and pull. Sometimes it's important to stay on a schedule. Sometimes it's important to listen to your body and pay attention to what it's telling you in the moment. Do you really feel like working out? Do you really not feel like working out? If you don't feel like working out, why do you not feel like working out? Is it a physical feeling? Is it a mental feeling? Is it a little bit of both? Are you sore and your body just feels achy? Or mentally, are you overtrained, burned out, and stressed and distracted, and you're not really focused on the gym? What's really going on? There's times when you need to listen to your body and play it off on the fly. And it's interesting because sometimes the best move is to listen to your body and not go. And sometimes you'll have that same feeling, but there's something different about it. There's something different about the feeling. You can't put your finger on it, you can't describe it, but you know it's not the kind of feeling that you need to give into. And you have to tell your body to essentially shut the fuck up and go anyway. Those are hard because everything in your body, all your signs, all your systems are giving you the alert, the brain waves of feelings of, hey, take a day off. You don't need to work out today. You don't want to go to the gym. It's too cold. It's too rainy. You don't feel good. You're stiff. You need rest. It's kind of trying to help you make that excuse. And you can easily decide not to go to the gym. Just my 2 cents. It doesn't even matter what you do. It's just the fact that you went. It's the fact that you go. You'll stay in motion. Staying in motion is always a good idea. Staying active, keeping yourself moving is always a good idea. Anytime you start slowing down, and it's going to start mentally, anytime you start giving into those little voices and those little excuses on a daily basis, every time you just start, you start allowing yourself to listen to those things. You start paying attention. You start taking more days off when your body, I think that's where you have to draw the line. You have to be careful. I think it's amazing to train instinctually. I think it's amazing to listen to what your body is telling you and follow it and address those things, address those mobility issues when you feel stiff, address those cardiovascular issues if you feel out of breath, address those strength issues or those structural issues if you feel like you're not doing enough strength training. I think it's important to listen to your body. However, you can listen to your body too much. I know it's going to go both ways, but there is a fine line. You can listen to your body too much. I really do believe you can listen to your body too much. Your body will create a habit. If you can't allow your body to dictate everything. Because remember what you're doing with your body. You're putting it in a situation where it's going to have to defend itself. You're putting yourself in an environment where it has to react defensively. When you go to the gym, your body is not offensive. It's a defensive response. It's a negative feedback system. You're adding stress to the body. It's going to break down the tissue. Your body in response is going to rebuild the tissue and make it stronger or more resilient for future training. So the more you put your body into an environment where it's going to be under duress, it's going to adapt. That's why you're building muscle over time. It's because your body will adapt to the stress you're putting on it. Your body has to build muscle, otherwise it's going to get damaged all the time. So it defends itself essentially. So it's a negative feedback system. It's a defensive mechanism. Because your body is always defending itself, don't you think it also makes sense that your body would like a break once in a while? Your body wants to not defend itself. Your body wants to protect itself. Your body wants to survive. So there's always this leaning towards an excuse almost. It's always leaning towards the easy way out, because whether you realize it or not, your body is trying to make things easy. That's why it builds muscle, so those workouts can get easier. That's why your body builds cardiovascular capacity, because it wants to make those sessions easier. That's why your body improves mobility, because it doesn't want to tear fibers when you take it through this range of motion. It's adaptation. So your body is adapting in order to provide you with the easiest way out, the path of least resistance. That's what adaptation is. So on a daily basis, your body has less resistance to whatever it's doing or whatever it's going around in the environment. Whether it's you walking up mountains, whether it's you lifting weights, whether it's you walking down the street, whether it's you stocking shelves, your body will adapt to that movement, and then it'll become easier. And that's the path of least resistance. Your body creates that situation where there's less resistance that needs to be overcome for those daily tasks on a micro scale. And your body doesn't want to have to adapt to new things. So it's always going to kind of like to rest. It's always going to like to rest. It's always going to like to kind of cruise. So that's where the mind comes in. The mind can handle a lot more than the body can. I should reword that. The body can handle more than the mind can, and vice versa. It depends on how you train them. So what I'm trying to explain here is that your mind will have those types of interpretations in order to make it easier on itself. And your body can handle a lot more. Your mind is the governor. So I said that backwards, I believe, the first time, if you rewind it. Anyway, the body can go through a lot. The body can handle a lot. The mind will shut down a lot quicker than the body will. Of course, when the body breaks, life is over, right? Your body, the physical, your brain's just not going to, like, if you break your physical systems, you're going downhill, right? So if you interpret these signals differently and you train your mind to overcome or to reinterpret these signals differently, when you have these feelings, it doesn't result in the same thought. It doesn't result in the same approach. Oh, you don't feel like, right. So let's say you don't feel like going to the gym. Physically, you don't feel like going to the gym. If you give in to that every time you have that feeling, oh, it's a dog scratching. Every time you have that feeling, you're not going to go to the gym. If you always take off every single time, think about this. You create that habit, you create that connection. If you don't go to the gym every single time you don't feel like it, you're going to associate that feeling with that end result. You're just not going to go. Oh, this is the feeling I have when I don't go to the gym. So you won't go to the gym. You really have to, it's better for you to overcome that, to reverse it completely and go every time you don't want to, because in the end, that net result will benefit you. Because sometimes maybe you didn't want to go and you went anyway. Sometimes you went when you didn't feel like it, and then by the time you got there, hey, you had a great workout. We've all had that. And you can drop that in the comments below. I know you've had that. How many of you have had a day where you did not want to go to the gym? You sucked it up, you went, and you had one of the best workouts you've ever had, or one of the best workouts you've had in recent memory. It was just amazing. It happens a lot to me. And if you train regularly, I'm sure it happens a lot to you. But you just stop connecting your feeling of whether you want to go or not. Yeah, getting to the gym is I think getting to the gym is more than half the battle. If you don't go, I think it's probably 100% of the battle, to be honest. Come on. How can you say it's not? If you don't go, you don't go. So it doesn't matter how good your program is if you don't go to the gym to do it. For example, let's say you have to go to the gym to do your program for whatever the reason is. If you don't go, nothing gets done no matter what. So first thing, you have to get there, whether it's in your basement, whether it's in your garage, whether it's down the street, whether it's half an hour away, whether it's 2 hours away. Hopefully it's not 2 hours. If your gym is 2 hours away, you better get a home gym or just train at home. There's no way that should be part of your schedule for sure. But that's the point. If you listen to your body all the time, if you listen to what your mind says, and every time you don't feel like it, you don't go, you're going to create that habit where you just never feel like going, because you're going to have that feeling a lot. That's going to be one of the most common feelings, is not wanting to go to the gym. I don't want to go to the gym most of the time, or a lot of the time. I just go anyway. I just might not put as much pressure on myself for those workouts, but I go. And of course, usually when I start training, I warm up, I fucking crush it. I have a great workout. The best workout ever? Maybe not, but I have a great workout. It's the consistency. David, have you ever worked chest so hard your breastbone feels bruised? Yeah. It's just the muscle inserting onto the bone. It's not the bone itself. I mean, the muscle and the tendon, you're going to get sore. Rodney, almost every time when I feel that way, I usually kill my workout on those days. Hell yeah. Papa, crazy how you're doing your segments on football Sunday and I'm tuning in on halftime. Crazy how you're doing your segments on football Sunday. What do you mean, crazy? I do my show every day. I think football's for clowns. I think watching people play sports is fucking weird. I understand it. But just to use all that time, like an entire day of just watching. I mean, it's okay if you follow a team, but I would just easily just look at the score later. It's going to be the same score whether you're looking at it or not. Watch the highlights. Highlights are the greatest invention. It's not really an invention. Highlights are amazing. You can watch any kind of baseball game or football game. Just watch the highlights. 5 minutes, you see the entire game. Boom. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. How much better is it? You can follow a team. You can enjoy the sport. Why not just watch the highlights? Who wants to see the boring shit every single movement? It's an excuse. I'm telling you. It's an excuse to eat garbage for a longer period of time. If you turned on the highlights for 5 minutes, how much wings and beer can you pound in a sports center, like in a half hour? No, you'd rather sit there for 3 hours. Hey, go team, wear your jersey, wear your favorite fat shirt so you can eat garbage food all day. That's it. Yeah, and fuck the NFL for all those other reasons. It's fucking just propaganda bullshit now. Fantasy, bro. No, I got bet. It's my opinion. It's my life too. So I have better things to do than pretend about football. Unpatriotic NFL babies. Yeah, there are a lot of babies in this world. A lot of babies in this world. My friends. I mean, shit. We had that on Instagram. That post I had about fat acceptance. Someone in the comments trying just to be a pain in the ass, saying that there's no evidence that shows obesity is unhealthy. I'm like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? No evidence. No evidence. Just because when a scientific study is done, they never treat one study as causality. They'll say this may be a factor in the increased risk of disease. They have to say that because one study doesn't prove a fact. So every single study will say may or looks likely, but further research will be. That's how a study is done. No study says this proves. It just explains what it shows. And the likeliness that, it literally just explains what it shows in that one study. And not one study can you take a fact from. So no study is going to show proof. That's not how a scientific study is worded. So someone in that thread, and I'm always commenting to everyone. I'm always responding. So I'm cordial. I'm not going to ignore anyone's comments, whether it's in favor or against. But to say that there's no study and there's no research that shows that obesity is unhealthy, it's like, are you living under a rock? So I thought that was interesting. Oh, it was definitely written by an ignorant person. Hey, look, there's things are only truth until they're proven untrue. So all scientific, even if you have 100 scientific studies, they're all going to show this is likely or this may cause, and this may lead to an increased risk. This may lead, they have to, because one study in that small specific section of that one single study, you have to use those words. You can't create that kind of like, absolute, like this is a certainty. No, that's one test that showed that this, correlation, right? So that's where it's mind blowing. Of course, you're not going to find one study, but if you have hundreds of studies that show that link obesity to disease, yeah, that's like medical common sense now. That's medicine 101. If you're obese, you're just at a higher risk for every freaking disease, like every single fucking one. I think that's the least debatable thing on earth. You probably have better luck arguing flat earth theory rather than obesity doesn't cause disease. I usually work out watching sports. I get so engrossed I keep working out and not think about the fatigue. Yeah, some people watch entertaining stuff when you're doing cardio. You are so sexy, just saying. Oh, stop. Yeah, you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have. It's simple. The more weight I lose, the better I feel, because you're carrying around less extra stuff. If you're fat, you're overweight. You have too much weight on your body. That's why it helps when you have more lean tissue. You can move things more. You can move your body parts better. Least debatable, but less heard. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of denial. There's a lot of people that just like to make arguments and take opposing viewpoints for attention and for just to be argumentative. Hey, if you see a windfall of information, any one direction, if it's coming from unbiased sources, I mean, I'm open-minded. If you come up with conclusive proof, we're talking about studies, like really, that can overarch all this anecdotal, feedback and people's personal experiences. When you really have full comprehensive data, that's definitely more substantial. But I think we have to also factor in common sense and all the variables when it comes to human beings. There's a lot of individuality. You always have those outliers physically. You always have those outliers physically, health-wise, with what food certain people can eat. Some people are allergic to freaking everything. Some people can eat so many things and never really notice different weight changes. There's a lot of individuality out there. Yeah, there's a lot of those documentaries. Fast Food Nation, never seen it. I don't really like watching those documentaries because they're so biased. No matter what the angle is or the perspective, they're biased to some extent. Some are worse than others, but it's definitely bad. It's definitely bad. Fast food is definitely not good for you. That's for sure. Do you just do enough cardio to warm up for lifting? I do. If I do like sprinting and stuff, I haven't done that in a little while, but hill sprints or interval sprinting. I walk a lot. Well, I try to walk a lot. I mean, I walk the dog and stuff like that, so I try to go for more physical activity. But I warm up. I don't go and do a cardio day, 10, 15 minutes sometimes. Warming up. I do a lot of warm up and activation before my strength training, but I usually like to do the step mill, those rotating stairs, like doing that for, get your overall body temperature up, and it just primes the body and lets the body know that you're coming for it. It lets the body know that weights are coming, that you're going to train, gets the sympathetic nervous system primed, that type of shit. But it's a problem. It's a problem not being active enough otherwise, aside from just your training, being more active, being more in motion during the day. So it's not just your exercise programming, what you're doing during your actual program, but it's also a factor what you're doing in terms of physical activity aside from your regimented training, just being more active. So if you go to the gym for an hour and then you're sitting in a chair for another 12, it doesn't balance. That's not an even balance. That doesn't balance out the 12 hours of sitting down. there needs to be more movement throughout the day. That's why I like doing what we talked about that, right? The Pomodoro technique, where it's 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of rest, or, so I'll sit for 25 minutes or so, do work, and then I'll do yoga for 5 minutes, and then I'll come back. So over the course of a day, so then every hour you have 50 minutes of work and 10 minutes of something that's other than work. I use that for yoga and stretching. So if you do 6 hours, you have 60 minutes. So if you're working for 12 hours, you did yoga for 2 hours, and you're spreading it out throughout the entire day. So it's a good technique to increase your mobility throughout the day, to do 5 minutes every 25 minutes. Then you're getting 10 minutes every hour. So you're doing a lot of like targeted mobility. I'll do internal, external rotation, I'll do some towel stretches. I'll do some couple, maybe sun salutations. I'll do some stretching for the hips. Sometimes every 5 minutes I'll do some different stuff, but usually something for the shoulders and something for the hips, some rotation stuff, some extension, few moves, a little bit of a flow, 5-minute flow. You can do a lot in 5 minutes. And it goes really fast because you're doing 25, 5. So it seems like you're constantly doing yoga, and when it's spread out throughout the entire day rather than just an hour straight, you'll feel a lot better. I recommend it. I'm not saying don't do any kind of like hour-long class or hour-long mobility work, period. But that technique is kind of a way to sneak in yoga and mobility throughout the entire day. It's a little hack that I do. So it's not just 5 minutes away from work. It's 5 minutes of physical activity, balancing out the limited movement that I have when I'm at the computer and I'm editing videos and stuff like that. So I can't move and do all this kind of stuff while you're editing videos. It takes a lot of focus and a lot of, mental and computing power. So you just gotta put time and get it done so you can move on with your life. You heard? So what are we training today? So today I'm going to be doing some back. Yesterday I also did a recorded for Swolenormous X virtual trainer, the personal audio trainer. I did a chest workout, a lot of activation work, some like foundational strength, not stability, but really focusing on the movement of the muscles. So today I'm splitting up my normal chest and back routine. I'm isolating individual body parts this week, at least just for this week, just to kind of realign some things and take things back to, I wouldn't say the foundation, but really dropping the weight and focusing hardcore on the full muscle movement, the full muscle contraction. So some cool stuff that I'm putting down, I'm saving, that we're going to be doing some more content on, some more for the workouts for Swolenormous X members. Those of you that are on Instagram, you might know already. You can check that out. If you're on Facebook, there's a special offer for people getting started, 3-month special offer for new members to Swolenormous X. As today only ends at midnight. So you can click the link in my Instagram bio if you're interested in checking that out, all my programs and nutrition. So those of you that are already members, be live today. I'm probably this afternoon, a little bit later, depends on how the lighting is, but a little bit later for the Q&A. And also those updates that I said were coming are right around the corner. So super cool with new yoga class coming, but the program vault is coming along well. And the restructuring that I was mentioning to everyone is coming along well. So looking forward to it. Oh, looking forward to it. It's a nice day to get some work done. Always a nice day. Got the thunder in the background. Thunder's coming. The storm's coming to the gym, baby. The storm's coming to the gym. Papa Swolio's coming. I'm coming. Do you like yoga DDP? I don't know anything about it. Will it help? Yoga is great. Any type of yoga is beneficial. Yoga is fantastic. Any yoga class, any yoga flow. If you're not used to doing yoga, just try something. It's absolutely amazing. And the fitness trackers, I don't use those. I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. The chest monitors, I don't think that's really necessary. I've never used them. I've never used them personally or with clients or anything like that, so I don't really know what they have nowadays. to monitor your heart rate. I don't find that to be. I've never done that myself personally. I've never tracked that. Thank you, Kirsty. I'm just very excited for the new things, that are underway. Real life Thor coming to a gym near you. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like that end of the summer, beginning of the holiday season. I don't want to say lull, but it seems kind of quiet around here, right? It seems kind of quiet. I know today people are watching football and stuff. Kids are back in school, so you get that fall semester. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like this is that last push in the year where it's time. Just people need to don't lose focus. Very easy to lose focus. Very easy to lose focus. Very easy to lose focus and get distracted by all these things, right? Get distracted with sports, get distracted with holidays, get distracted with work. And I know I'm talking about the holidays a lot, but believe it or not, September, you have the Labor Day thing. Then you have Halloween coming up. You're going to have all the Halloween parties. You're going to have the Halloween work parties. You're going to have the blah, blah, blah. You're going to have the candy around. Or if you have kids, you're going to have tons of candy around. Or you should or you shouldn't, whatever your choice is. And then it's Thanksgiving. And then it's Christmas. Then it's New Year's. And before you know it, it's just this freaking, you wake up from this blur. Just this stupor of travel and family and friends and holidays and just getting hammered with advertisements and sales and all this stuff. You're just going to get hammered. And you're going to wake up in January and be like, what the fuck just happened? Where am I? Who am I? What year is this? Where am I? So I say, don't wait till New Year's to make it happen. I'm like the only person that's raging on New Year's resolutions in September. I rage on them all the time. Every time someone wants, it's a New Year's resolution. Every time someone wants to start training, every time someone wants to change their life, it's always a New Year's resolution. It's just a different time of year. It's that same mentality. It's that same bullshit mentality that has no substance. It's just something that we say, oh, New Year's resolution doesn't mean anything to people anymore. You don't realize you can make that resolution every single day, every single moment. You can make that change today and make it as important as the one you would make on that day. You can make that today. You don't have to wait till the calendar says 1-1. It means nothing. That's why it doesn't stick, because it doesn't have any fundamental meaning. It's got to be important to you. And if it's important to you now, it should be important to you now enough to fucking do something about it. And that's what I'm going to do. A little bit dreary, a little bit funky, a little bit damp. I am going to go get a fucking pump on. You know why? Because I don't really want to go. I would love to just stretch and stay around here, drink some more coffee and kind of, stay cozy. No, I'm going to expose myself. Not physically expose myself, because then I'll go to jail, but I'm going to put myself out there and I'm going to get it done. So if you're in between right now, if you're in that in-between period where you don't really feel good, you kind of feel like shit. You kind of want to work out. You kind of want to. We're going to do it together. We're doing it together. So now I'm getting off. You're going to get off here too. We're both going to go to the gym and we're going to get our fucking pump on. If you haven't gone yet, right now, you're going with me right now. Let's go. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 856 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Sleazecast, Beastcast, Nipplecast, and Sunday Salami Swolecast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. It's time to go to the gym. Go get your pump on. Do it. If you haven't done it today, it's Sunday. Who cares? Tell the hubby, tell the wife, watch the kids. I'll be back in an hour. I'm about to make some sick fucking gains with Papa Swolio. I'll see you tomorrow for 857. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce Magoose. Papa Swolio. Out.